I'm sad, I'd rather be right here. Hi there, hi there, hi there. Hello. I'm kind of feeling myself today, if you know what I mean. And I thought I'm gonna record the video. And the video will be about my progress in this kind of law studying, yes. Since I'm a history major. Yeah, like history and law, they kind of different things, but I'm still like, history major, but I'm still kind of close to this law kind of thing. And, that is kind of like the point. Like, I'm gonna study law this year because, this year was for me like, if you know what I mean, like, it was kind of like revealing the true self, revealing my true nature of my like everyday routines, like like why am I here? Why am I sitting here doing nothing but aging, as Beatles said it? And yeah, that is kind of the point. And I thought I'm gonna focus on studying law. Yep. That will be kind of the beginning. I'm gonna vlog about it. I got this idea from this channel, this awesome channel called Polyglot Progress, yes. And there's like this recap kind of videos, and I'm gonna do that, yep. And this is like video number 1 of the series, yes. So that will be quite incredible, if you know what I mean. Say one, say two, baby, baby, I love you. Another clip. Introduction, I told already Steph about my studying. Here I'm continuing it. It's another day. I'm dressed up and want to point, I said in previous clip, I said that I am sort of, like doing this law kind of thing, and in but I'm kind of in recent time I'm kind of was more focused on history, if you know what I mean. Yes, kind of law, sort of. My thoughts didn't go to that stage yet, but I did manage to sort of learn some of history, and like kind of that's kind of like what I'm going to make this recap clip all about, this little clip, yeah. And I learned about Japan, and you know what, like Japan is like the most underrated from historical point of view, like subject that is studied in all those universities, like in other words, that we know very little about this awesome country. And I sort of, like I learned about like this period in history called Tokugawa, and sort of like there was it's those like this military people in Japan, like this like class of those people who were like fighting for lords. And as we know, the Japan was a feudal country till up to 19th century, like much longer than the Western like countries. And it was mostly because like this kind of like before the major revolution happened, it was like this. And there was this Tokugawa, this period of time, yeah. Tokugawa, yeah, that was Tokugawa. There's been different, like, the country was closed from all this Western stuff. There was only few Jesuits that kind of like brought some typography to sort of to Japan, and it was like it made Japanese culture really like like unique in a way. And there's, you see, I got my kind of copybook going on in here. Yes, I also like this Magna Carta learned. It's like another chapter what I learned, like when did Britain became a full democracy in 1928. Yep. Yes, and there's been a true-false kind of question despite the reforms of... Yep, I got that. Despite of the reforms of 1832 and 1867, only a minority of British men had to vote. True or false? That is true. Yeah, so we see this Britain kind of thing. It was kind of this like right to vote and all this democracy thing. It was developing very slowly. Like you see this 19th century, and even in 19th century there this country was still really conservative in a way. And yep, that's like, yeah. And that was kind of like, like also another question I learned, like Churchill lost the 1945 election because of and choose different points, like what Labour's better politics, Attil's charisma, his support for democracy, his war leadership. And the right answer here is his war leadership. So Churchill lost the 1945 election because of his war leadership. Like people thought that he was great at wartime, but at peaceful times they wanted someone else. But of course it wasn't like the end of Churchill's reign. It was like he got re-elected later. And he wasn't giving up, like that was the point about Churchill. He wasn't giving up easily. He was even in the book that I got, like here I got a special book for Churchill, yes. And he said that you don't give up easily, like you sort of keep on going and you sort of eventually you win, yeah. And that was kind of, yeah, for this clip that was it, yep. I'm keeping this kind of vlog things, that the recap things, that what I've learned, and there will be like a huge video about all this kind of stuff. Yep, hello, another clip, another day. This is recap video, and in this clip I wanted to sort of say a few words about what makes us special. This awesome black tea is everything. This awesome black tea not only helps you to be energized and fresh, it also helps you to stay focused while studying. Yes, and I'm drinking it each day, so yes, that's like the best choice on market right now. And that is like a huge secret, I'm telling you. This tea is everything. Yeah, so that was a word. I also repeated some historical stuff, I've been repeating like those MP3 files that I made, and that was pretty fun. I made them like in March, and they are still like kind of useful to me since I'm sort of forgotten that material that I've like learned once upon a time, and now I'm just repeating them, and it's quite quite rewarding. I'm using my phone, like the special phone for that, and I'm transferred those MP3 files. They are like TTS, and I'm sort of listening to them and reminding myself the history that I've been studying at March this year. The future is now. Join the movement. This is how we do exercises, just like that. The future is now. We're changing the structure of society. The future is now. Put bigger weight, set bigger goals, and do it for all mankind. Hello back, hello again. It's another clip. In this is clip for a video of my recap session, and I wanted to point is like for another day, like before, like after I filmed those previous clips. And my progress is kind of going on. It's all really amazing, really nice. And what um, I mean, what I learned, I wanted to tell you about what I learned, yes, right now. Yep, and I kind of learned a lot of like this. I made this amazing presentation of history of Russia, of 19th century, of entire 19th century. And that is kind of like how I sort of learning it. I'm sort of dividing the materials that I got, like in textbook. I divide it into my own sort of, containers, like points, and I sort of like there was no such a topic there, like like the 19th century. It basically was different like chapters, but what I've done, I sort of like merged few chapters and like trimmed a few more, and I get this like whole 19th century sort of huge my own chapter. Yes, that's what I'm kind of done. Yeah, and I made a huge presentation for that. I've included many pictures, like I found them on the net, and I also like wrote my few of my own opinions, and that was kind of like how I've done that. And I think that's a great thing. That's probably like the best presentation I've made so far, like in my entire career. That was kind of huge.